Yo, excuse me, guys. Yo, what is going on, you guys? It is Carter from CBH Sports. Excuse me again. T- Today we have another college basketball blog post that I'm making a video about because I want to spend most of my time on college football and writing those blog posts. So the next college basketball blog post will be in 2 weeks when I begin Christmas break, and so the um, so that will also be a video. At least I'm planning it to be right now because college football playoff will be coming up that week too. So planning for that to be a video as well. But anyway, let's get into the games and my thoughts on each of these games in the ACC-SEC Challenge this year, and some other top non-conference battles. Excuse me. These games will go between December 2nd and December 13th or 14th, I believe. And but anyway, Bennett starts in the Iowa Hawkeyes open Big Ten play at one of the toughest destinations in the country. Um, in East Lansing against Michigan State. I don't. I think a lot of other places on the road they might get the win, but Michigan State already has gotten wins over uh, Arkansas, Kentucky, and I want to say something. Oh, and UNC. So North Carolina. So last week. So a great Michigan State team. They have their front court has been phenomenal. They went one of the best coaches in college basketball history, and uh, um, the give me the Spartans, but it'll be close. Next up, Tennessee and Syracuse, two teams that were in Las Vegas last week at the Players Era Invitation, the Players Era Championship. They did not face off though, so they will face off in the ACC-SEC Challenge this week. In upstate New York, Syracuse went 0-3 in those games last week. Tennessee went 2-1. Let's just keep it real. They're playing better basketball right now. That doesn't mean that Syracuse isn't going to be at least a decent team in the ACC this year. Give me Tennessee by 8. I think the Orange keep it close in their gym. Going into in the preseason, I really thought that this Florida team was going to be better because I thought they have the best front court in the country, which they do. But transfer guards Xavier Lee from Princeton and Biggie Flynn from Arkansas have not necessarily lived up to the task. Um, Two of them the year they lost to now number 2 in the AP poll, Arizona in Las Vegas. Kind of a semi uh, home game for the Wildcats. Last week they lost in a multi team event to TCU. That's a bad loss. The Arizona one wasn't. I think Duke just beat Arkansas. Cam Boozer is a a freight train. He's one of the best players in the country, even as a freshman. Because the game is inside Cameron Indoor Stadium in Durham. Um, Give me the Blue Devils, but I think the fact that Florida has different guys they can throw at Boozer in the front court, I think they will be the team that gets the closest to beating Duke, maybe until they play Michigan in of 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 February. Next, we have UConn going to Kansas. Two of the top five basketball programs, I would say, over the last 5 to 7 seasons. Both teams have national championships during that time period. I believe UConn went to Kansas a few seasons ago and either lost very close or won. Um, and I believe UConn made the return trip, or I believe Kansas made the return trip. They may be continuing. There used to be a conference challenge with the Big East and the Big 12. I'm sorry that was discontinued, but I'm glad that matchups like this are going on no matter what. I think UConn is the superior team. They haven't been tested like Kansas just yet due to Kansas going to Vegas last week and playing in the Players Era, beating a Tennessee team and going undefeated there without their best player, Darren Peterson, one of the top players in the country and maybe the top of freshman in the country at guard. Maybe the number one pick in the 2026 NBA draft. We'll have to see about that. I don't know if I just and I like Kansas's bigs. I like Badunga inside, but to me, Terrace Reed is maybe the top big in the country for UConn. They have a roster that's capable of reaching another national championship. Give me UConn by 1 over Bill Self's Jayhawks. I think Kansas is a lot better than they were last year, but I don't think that will overcome UConn, even when they are playing in Lawrence. Next up, this is another interesting matchup. North Carolina travels to Lexington to face Kentucky, two blue bloods that on one end UNC wasn't not expected to. Sorry guys, was not expected to do well during. At least during the beginning of the season, they opened the first week with a win over Kansas. Now Kentucky has botched chances to win games against Michigan State and who else have they? Oh, and Louisville. They almost came back against Louisville, but that game was too hard to win on the road. I don't love that Mark Pope is not and during press conferences he's not really answering the questions the right way. At least from what I've seen for the Wildcats. Give me UNC to walk into Rupp Arena, get a huge win for Hubert Davis. Big reason why I think they're going to get this one is because I think Caleb Wilson, the UNC star freshman forward, is a more dominant player than any on the Kentucky roster. Give me the Tar Heels by 8 points. I think Kentucky fans might be walking out of the gym I think Rep will be packed for this game, but I think they will be walking out maybe at the under 4 media timeout if the Tar Heels get a bigger lead than that. Now we move on to Wednesday. The ACC-SEC Challenge finishes up on that night. The SEC won 14 games in this challenge against the ACC last year. I don't think they will dominate it like they did last year. I think the ACC has proven that they will be better than they were a year ago. But that doesn't mean that Alabama is going to lose to Clemson. The Tigers and the Crimson Tide faced off, I believe, in the first edition of the ACC-SEC Challenge back in 2023, I want to say. Honestly forgot what the result of that game was. I think Alabama's going to protect Coleman Coliseum. They have one of the best offenses in the nation, one of the best point guards in the country in LeBaron Philon. Give me Alabama to outduel Clemson in what could turn into a shootout if Clemson can potentially shoot with the Crimson Tide. I don't think that they will be able to. Louisville goes to Fayetteville. This matchup is huge for Arkansas. Their only 2 losses to number 7 Michigan State, number 4 Duke last Thursday on Thanksgiving. This Louisville team can make 3-point shots. The Arkansas 3-point defense has not been great this season. It improved a lot on Thursday against Duke. You have to be even better in this game. Players like Billy Richmond, Carter Knox, everybody from 1 to 5, from Acuff to Nick Pringle, will have to get out on their guy to guard the 3-point line, and I don't think Arkansas will be able to do that. I think it will be a close game, but give me Louisville to beat Arkansas, and what I hope will be a packed out Bud Walton Arena. Next up, Vanderbilt, all the way up to number 17 in the AP poll. Mark Byington has been fantastic in Nashville. While I don't know if SMU has, I don't think either of these teams have played a lot. Vanderbilt ended up winning the battle for Atlantis last week. They vaulted all the way up to number 10, I want to say, in KenPom. Vandy is going to win this game. They will protect their home court. A team that lost their first game in the multi-team event last week, North Carolina State, the betting favorite to win the Maui Invitational last week, fell in their first game to Seton Hall. Will Wage Group needs a bounce back. It will be hard going into the jungle to face Auburn, who I believe either went 1-2 or 2-1 last week in Vegas at the Players Era Championship. Too hard for me to pick the Wolfpack in this game. Give me Auburn in a close game. I think NC State comes out and he's shooting well. I think it only gets worse for Kentucky. I believe they went to Portland or to the bigger gym in Spokane last year for a kind of not a neutral site, but a kind of a semi home environment at Gonzaga last year. Now Gonzaga returns the favor in Nashville. While I think Mark Pope needs this game. I think Gonzaga guard for if he's a forward or a guard, Tyron Grant Foster, a guy who didn't even get his eligibility case. It was originally denied that Grant Foster was going to get a sixth season due to a lot of injuries. Um, but the Bulldogs should be very thankful that he did. Give me Gonzaga in a uh, high scoring um, affair. That game will just be the appetizer for just what will be a phenomenal Saturday of basketball on December 6th. Duke and Michigan State in the Breslin Center. They the Spartans get Iowa to open the Big Ten play on Tuesday, and then they welcome in John Shire's Duke Blue Devils to clear top 10 teams. Tom Izzo's record at home against non-conference teams is incredible. I think he's one loss in the last so many years, and that is why Duke will not be able to go in and beat Michigan State. Michigan State ended Duke's run in 2019 when they were the top overall seed in March in the Elite Eight. To end up going to the Final Four. Will Duke again? That was six years ago. That's similar. It's honestly what this game feels like. It should be a phenomenal battle. I cannot wait for this game. It's going to be great. Give me Sparty by 1. Iowa State at Purdue. Two teams playing some of their best basketball up to this point. Purdue is number 1. I don't believe they were number 1 at the beginning of the year, and they're playing well enough. They crushed Texas Tech to begin Feast Week in the Bahamas, but they haven't necessarily challenged themselves like Iowa State did last week when they went 3-0 in Vegas against some tough competition. With that being said, not many teams go into the Big Ten home environments like in East Lansing, like in West Lafayette at Purdue. Give me Purdue by 3. I think it will be a phenomenal game. The awesome day keeps going. Louisville goes to Indianapolis to face Indiana in a neutral site. Will be majority Indiana fans, but wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of Louisville fans too. I think, like I said, for their game versus Arkansas, I think the Cardinals outshoot Indiana. But both of these offenses are very good. Give me the Cardinals by 5. Another great game. Illinois lost to UConn on Friday. They like to bounce back in Nashville. Semi home game for the Volunteers. I think they get it done. Nate Ament, and I'm forgetting their point guard's name. But the Maryland transfer has been fantastic. I will give the Volunteers a 4-point win. would not be surprised if Illinois gets it done either. The SEC has been kind of ripping on St. John's. Alabama beat St. John's on the opening Saturday of the season. Then Auburn beat them last week in Las Vegas. The way that Chris Beard's team has come out in Oxford, you would think they've been struggling a little bit too. Give me the Johnnies. Give me Rick Pitino to finally defend his home court. Without a true point guard, it's really been a weakness for the Johnnies. I think they finally get it done on Saturday in a very close game. So many games going on, guys. I'm so sorry that this is going on forever, but just some phenomenal basketball going on over the next 2 weeks or so, and then even more when I'll make my next post. But Auburn and Alabama, we know they love to challenge themselves in the non-conference before a tough SEC slate. This will be a losing effort for Auburn at the McHale Center. The Auburn roster there are a lot of new guys on the team. Bruce Pearl's son is the new coach. This Arizona team feels like a national championship favorite. At least one of them. Give me Arizona. It may be even a bigger deficit than what I have predicted. Give me Arizona at least by 4, if not more. Missouri, Kansas, a rivalry renewed. It was renewed in football this season. They've been playing in basketball. I think every other year or so. I know they played last year, and Missouri upset the Jayhawks. I think Jayhawks get their revenge. Darren Peterson should be back from injury at this point. In Kansas City. Because I found a photo of a Michigan guy to put on the cover of the post, I put this Michigan game in just so I could put the Michigan guy on the cover, the title photo, kind of whatever, the image. Give me Michigan big over Villanova. They, to me, are the best team in college basketball. Jimmy V Classic. Arkansas beat Michigan on at this event at Madison Square Garden last year. I think BYU takes another loss this time to AJ DeMonta and BYU. Illinois, I think they'll get back on the winning side against Ohio State, and this Florida. I mean, they play Duke, and then I guess it may be a bye game, and then back to really to another top 5 team. I'm not sure who Florida plays in between Duke and UConn, but I mean they go to the Blue Devils, and sorry about the sound in the background, guys. Anyway, give me UConn to avenge their round of 32 loss to the Gators last year. They don't have Walter. The Gators don't have Walter Clayton to save them. Give me UConn by at least 4, if not more. The battle for Iowa, it's the hardwood. To me, it's so hard going to Ames and beating the Cyclones. Give me Iowa State by 4 over the Hawkeyes. Give me UConn big over Texas. I'm trying to speed this video up, and then let's kind of dive into to the final day of of the matchups I have for this post. Arkansas and Texas Tech. A lot of Arkansas fans mad over the way that Arkansas lost the Sweet 16. They were up by at least 11 um, in the last 15 minutes of this game. Texas Tech shot their way back into it. They rebounded their way back into it. That's why it's called the Revo Crew rematch. I have a strong feeling about this. I think this is the game that Arkansas finally gets. I don't believe in Texas Tech's defense as much as I did in the preseason. Give me Arkansas by 2 in what should be a season defining win up to that point. In the preseason, I did not know if I was going to talk about this game, but Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State began exhibition play with a win over Auburn in Birmingham, kind of on the road. I think they will get Porter Moser's team. Oklahoma just doesn't seem to really have an identity. But next up, we got Kansas and NC State. I think NC State, like Arkansas, kind of gets their big win and protecting their home court against the Jayhawks. And in Kentucky, I think Kentucky finally gets their win that they need, like Arkansas, like NC State, in a very close game. This rivalry was big back when they used to play every year. They've booked a new series, so I'm excited to watch that on Saturday, December 13th. And then Arizona goes to Birmingham to face Alabama after playing Auburn. They welcome Auburn to their house. Then they almost go to Tuscaloosa. It's basically a home game for the Crimson Tide, and like their SEC brethren, Kentucky and Arkansas, Alabama gets a big win over Arizona, not in the points that they beat them by, but just for their resume. Already has one of the better resumes for the number 12 team in the AP poll with a win over St. John's and going 2-1 in Las Vegas last week. Give me Bama. UCLA Mick Cronin's team has not been out to a strong start, whereas Mark Few's Bulldogs has been doing great outside of that that 40 point loss to Michigan to finish out their time in Las Vegas. I think Gonzaga and UCLA they have a lot of experience against each other, especially in the NCAA tournament in March. Give me the Zags by 4 in Seattle. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for watching. It's been Carter from CBH Sports, and I'm signing out. Peace.